Dad called.
He texted you too.
Well, yeah, that's what he did. Thank you. He texted. He said, watch your mouth. So I'm trying to figure out if somebody at his job ran up on him.
They better not be running up on Red.
Because he don't seem like the type that'll listen to my podcast.
Well, obviously he did.
But he said, watch your mouth. Which led me to believe is like, so I don't curse around none of my family, of course. Some people do. If you go to my in-laws, you can let it fly. They let it fly, buddy. But shout out to
Key.
Shout out to Mama Jackie.
Yes, Jackie.
She listened to our last podcast. She called me in the middle, and first of all, she apologized because she said she did not want to come off as nosy. And I was scared. I'm like, oh my gosh, what did I say? I was like, I'm about to get checked on the phone.
Can't be no more nosy than Key.
Nah, but when your in-laws call you and they say, hey, I'm not being nosy, you like, oh shit, what did I say to make my mother-in-law call me in the middle of the day and lead with? She actually ended with, so I thought it was about to lead into another conversation about the pod. But she listened to our pod and she was like, yo, I heard one of your goals. I know somebody that knows somebody that knows somebody that knows somebody. But anyway, and so I was like,
who you know.
But yeah, and I was like, oh my gosh, please don't say nothing. Like, I hope she didn't be like, yo, I heard you talking about them young harlots from the past. Lead them bitches in 2020. I thought she was going to threaten me. But shout out to my mother-in-law. But anyway, back to what I was saying. My dad called. He texted me. He said, watch your mouth. And I don't cuss around my in-laws. However, my parents, I say some words that make my mom upset just to be like, pick at her.
Like what? Where she don't like? Like pussy?
No, I don't. That's deep. That's what. Nobody talks about how there's like categories. This girl went straight for the jugular.
People don't like certain words. Like it makes them cringe. Like Joy, she does not like the word pussy. And I say it just to make her cringe.
Shout out to Joy, man. That's my friend on Facebook. No, my mom don't like the N-word. And my mom doesn't curse at all. I've only heard my mom say like 2 cuss words ever. Excuse me. And she was saying it to show us that she don't want to never hear it. And me and my sister laughed because it was like so inappropriate. But my mom was very emotional at that time. Anyway, don't curse around my mom at all. I've never cursed around my dad. He's heard me curse.
Clearly.
And so I'm like, oh my goodness, I never want my grandparents to hear me. Everybody else, yeah, you good. My grandma Bobby can hear me cuss though.
Gavin, you don't really curse around any elders. I was gonna say adults, but we are adults.
So I don't. And I think it's interesting. Look at this transition that is not on the pod. But it's certain things like I have a good on and off switch.
I can't find it.
Sorry. I have a good on and off switch. I don't curse in front of adults. I don't say the N-word around people that's not black. Unless you listening here. And it's only another black person in here. So if you listening, you just being nosy. But thank you for the view, the listen, so I don't say nigga. So it's a couple of things I'm like, it's just interesting for me because I feel like if I curse around you, or if I say let's say you're not black, and there's people out there that listens that are not black but use the N-word. And so I don't use those words around people because I don't want you to feel comfortable enough that you feel like, oh, you could say it to me. And so that's always been my thing. I go out of my way. And if it's one white person in the room, I don't care if it's 50 black people, it's one white person in front of me and we're speaking, like it's a group conversation, I will not say the N-word. I don't care because I don't never want nobody. When I go to my in-laws' house, I don't say the N-word. Nothing but Puerto Ricans from New York, whatever the case may be. I do not. Who's this? Speaking of. Oh, it's my wife. So I just don't. I choose not to. I make it be known. Because like I said, I don't want you coming up to me, or better yet, let's say it's me and somebody else and they've heard me say the N-word and I've been saying it to you and them. I can't check you in front of them and be like, yo, you can't say that word. Because the first thing you're going to say is like, I say it around you all the time. Like, nah, we ain't doing that. But whatever. Different strokes for different folks. Is there anything you don't do in front of people? Great. I love when people come on a fucking pod and have nothing to say.
Fart.
You don't fart in front of people?
Why would I fart in front of people?
I've never heard you fart before.
How many? I mean, some people do it.
You've heard me fart. Yeah, sorry.
Yeah, I don't fart in front of people. I have cursed in front of my family, but we curse. So,
Yeah.
But I try not to do it around my grandma.
Absolutely.
But other than that, I don't really do anything where people are going to be like, oh, no, you shouldn't do that.
Yeah.
Nothing crazy.
I think it was funny for me once I like went around my in-laws and I saw like how different they were from my family. Mm-hmm. I was just like, all right, this is dope. Get the let loose up in this motherfucker.
Yeah, my family definitely curses a lot.
New Year's Eve. What you do New Year's Eve? Come on, man. It's the first pod. We got a lot of shit to talk about. It's a lot of stuff we got to get to.
The reason I laugh is because I was with Gavin. We was at his house.
Oh, congratulations, man. So you were safe.
He had a little dinner party.
Wait. COVID is going on. Please do not put that in there.
It wasn't a lot of people here.
I just seen it was an app that's about to get shut down because it was promoting COVID parties, like parties you can go to during, which is the stupidest shit. Apparently, we in North Carolina. If you listening, we'll do the intro later, so y'all get that later. But apparently, Roy Cooper he about to like shut us back down because people cutting up. No surprise there. But you were with me. You was at the crib. We had a couple of people over. It was less than 10. It was cool. It was fun. We had dinner and then the ball dropped and then everybody started cleaning up the kitchen.
First off, let's talk about the ball drop because I don't know what was going on in New York.
Bruh, let me tell you.
But they was tripping. Okay?
So I don't know who's planning this shit.
They had an Android phone. That's what it was. They had an Android phone because
Terrible.
it usually sync up. It didn't sync up.
It did not sync up.
They had an Android. They switched.
Bruh.
COVID happened. They couldn't afford Apple no more, so they got an Android to do the countdown. That's why they was 3 minutes behind.
Bruh, they were behind. So then we switched to another channel and watched the ball drop. It was like, what are y'all doing? They had somebody singing when the ball was supposed to drop.
Exactly.
And we was like, what the hell? Anyway, we did that. Shout out to Laws.
Shout out the Laws.
Shout out to my guy Laws. Delivered cookies. Nigga played Santa Claus on New Year's Eve. Who would have thunk it? Bruh brung these cookies, brownies.
Thunk it. That sounded funny.
To a bunch of people homes. Corey got
Key.
some. I got some. Some other people on Instagram got some. When I say them things smack. You had one, right?
Yeah, I did. I was gonna say,
you.
we did eat some of Gavin's.
Them shits was good.
Gavin don't really eat sweets.
I don't.
So
I didn't have one that night.
So Karina was like, take some of them, not all of them though.
Yeah, everybody got some. Macho was mad because he didn't get none.
They left early.
Nah, but mom took some. The mom. Mom, sorry. Mom took some home. And I guess Macho was mad because he didn't take none. And so I didn't eat none that night. Then Darnell texted that, yo, these cookies is bussin'.
The blueberry ones, right? Or something like that.
Yeah, it was something. I don't know. And then so the next day, Kareem was like, try one cookie, try a cookie.
She said it just like that?
Nah, but
Okay.
I tried one of them cookies. It sucks when your girl like try to tell you to try something and you like, nah, you gotta stand strong. And then you try it and you like, yo, this shit is busting. It was a good ass cookie.
Yeah,
Shout out
the
to
cookies
you,
were
Laws, for
good.
that. Everybody had Founders Day a couple of days ago.
Who was everybody?
The Kappas.
The Kappas did have their founders.
I ain't never seen, like, I'll tell you this. Corey got mad.
Why you get mad?
Because I said something about the Kappas on campus at UNCC. And I said they had the best probate when I was on campus. And he's like, nah, they didn't. And I was like, nah, nigga, they did.
Corey, how you know?
He don't. That's the other thing.
We was in Greensboro.
But you know, he got to rep his
crossing.
set. He had to rep his set. So I'm with him. But I mean, I was like, nah, buddy. If you went to UNCC between the years of 2008 and whenever the hell I graduated.
2011.
Absolutely. Them probates was on fire. Them things was like them things was damn near it was a party. It was like a event. Mm-hmm. At least the ones at UNCC. Like it was a line.
Oh, everywhere. Every
Really?
school. So imagine if it's like that at UNCC. Imagine how it is at HBCU.
Oh, I bet at A&T it was ridiculous.
They had their probates in their fucking gym.
Yeah. I saw.
Ours was outside.
Yeah, ours was in our theater room, which was super dope because there was a line, whatever time. So I will start this with saying sorry to anybody that is a part of the fraternity or the Divine Nine and everybody else that's, I don't claim a set. I'm not a part of a set.
We ain't
So
repping no sets.
So what I'm about to say may come off ignorant. And shout out to all the Kappas that are in the group that are a part of the No More Pie group. It's a couple of Kappas in our Facebook group. So going back to what I'm about to say, that's highly ignorant. I don't know what time they probate started, because they start at whatever time the time lines up.
I was about to say, but I don't know if I can. Maybe I can. I guess
whatever year they came in, that's what time the probate.
7-11.
It was formed in 1711? No way. When was they founded?
That was at 1711.
Yes, no way.
You know how long ago
when was Kappas founded? Oh gosh, now we about to look real stupid.
No, you is.
Kappa frat. Sorry to everybody. Like I said,
it's 1911, bruh.
Okay, so it usually. So,
I'm telling you.
Okay, it's 1911. Okay, nah, didn't you ain't part? What's that you claim?
I don't say
this one. No, the reason why I'm saying that, because when they had probates, sometimes it would start at 7-11, sometimes, and I want to say one year they randomly had a probate at like 9-11. So that's what I'm saying. But anyway, they probate 2 hours before you had to be in line, and them lines was long, and you tried to go to the balcony just so you can get out of the theater easier than if you sat on the floor. And they probates used to be a party. But I told Corey, I was like, yo, and no offense to the Kappas, because what I'm about to say about it, I was like, yo, that's the best thing they did on campus. That was the only thing they was good at.
Gavin words, not mine. I like the Kappas I know.
Yeah, that's cool. It was cool. Like they just threw bomb ass parties. I mean, well, I didn't never go to the club parties. I'm talking about like they probate that was literally a party. But it used to be funny. Being that we're not Greek, it used to be funny to see the Greeks beef on campus. Nobody don't ever want to talk about that.
Dang, we should have Corey here.
Nah, because he would have had to rep his set and then. But we gonna have a Kappa on one day. He'd come on here and correct my ass. But they used to beef. And then, shout out to all the Kappas at A&T. It was good to see y'all finally be friends for a day. And if you know, because them niggas was beefing at one time.
Oh,
if
gosh.
you know. And Key knows. What else is new in your life? Let me ask you that before we get started with the shits.
Nah, I've been real quiet on social media this week, just been observing. I think I was telling you that earlier. Haven't been posting a lot. I don't know. It's just one of those weeks where I'm kind of like getting back into the groove of work because, I've been off.
Okay.
Getting back into the groove of work, creating ideas for my business, thinking about how I'm about to file these taxes.
Woo!
Have you already filed your
taxes?
Because you are entrepreneurs.
Woo!
Yeah, we seen your post. Talking about something. No friends getting no more discount.
Yo, man. So let me
I'm doing my taxes.
Bro, let me tell y'all something. Last year, I realized, and if you are a friend of mine and I gave you a discount, this is actually about you. But I love you still. You still my friend. It's just, I fucks with you, but this is for you. No strays have been shot. I'm letting you know I shot you. Yo, man, I just realized I lost a lot of money. And I said that me and you had this conversation before. This is before I started doing my taxes and input and shit. And I started realizing like it was a lot of people who I was just saying, yo, you can pay the cost and then the cost of whatever it cost me. And then I was realizing at the end, like, damn, I was losing money. Mm-hmm. And I had to tell a couple of people, like a couple of friends or people I'm cool with or associates, however y'all want to look at it. Sorry, Pops. That, yo, time out, man. It's just time out for it. Like I can't do it because when you do your taxes and you look at the end, when I'm in QuickBooks and I look at the bottom and I see a negative and I'm start looking at it like, damn, I was in the studio with you. I didn't shoot you. You was running late. I didn't shoot nobody while I was waiting on you. I shot you. I went home and continued to edit. You didn't buy any extra edits. And now I'm looking at it and saying, yo, this is what it costs. Or the classic, here a couple dollars, man. Buy you something nice.
Get you a 4 for 4.
Damn near. And I'm like, yo, nigga, help me. Like I'm like, yo, this can't happen. So I remember, and I know it ruffled a couple of feathers because there was a couple of people who have not spoken to me in the new year, which is cool. That's the other thing. I don't see. Oh, first of all, let me tell y'all, I know we 15 minutes in. or 12 minutes in, depending on where I chop this, don't think this is the only photography shit you getting today. We got a lot of shit to get to because they was acting a fool in DC yesterday. So we got a lot to get to. But nothing's funnier than when people who you are cool with, who you consider cool, who you work with a lot, for them to look at you and be like, I'm cool on you. You gave me the discount. You helped me. This is why when we talking about being exclusive or inclusive, and all you motherfuckers that don't believe in paying photographers was coming at me saying, oh, collaboration is the best. It's like, okay, but you benefited. I did not. And so with that, I'm looking at it and they haven't spoken to me. And I'm like, if you don't work with me, your $40, $50, $60, $80, $100 does not affect me at all. It doesn't, because that just means I don't have to book the studio. That just means I can actually put somebody in your place. It was never where I was like, yo, I'm losing money for anybody. But once you block out that time, I can't go find somebody to fill that slot. So I'm like, it's cool. So if you have not spoken to me yet, today is day 7. It's the first week I have paid attention. I am cool on you. God bless. Respectfully. I like that term. Respectfully. Yeah, man. Always, man. You ready? You ready to get this shit started? That is definitely going on. So if you're listening to this podcast, this is the Paid in Exposure podcast. We already did that. Let's do some drops. You know how much shit we got to talk about today?
A podcast about helping our community of photographers.
What you gonna say today?
To reach the next level in their business. We just leveled up.
We gotta change all this
photographer, Gavin B.
Can I just pay you an exposure?
Hell no, but let's do it.
You need a thing that says no.
Nah, we got us.
One nigga ain't enough, gotta step it up. Yeah, need 2 niggas.
You think he a DJ? He not a DJ.
In the hookah, need to step it up. Ain't beefing on the ground, bitch, set it up. Yeah, do a bag and Magic City.
Do you think girls is out here fucking for a hookah and a bottle?
I hope not.
They are absolutely are. So before we get to the shits, we must state it is chicks out here smashing for a hookah.
You can't be. You can have your own hookah. We all have our own hookahs.
Okay, but
So why
there's
are
chicks,
you smashing for a hookah?
We've seen women smash for worse.
Maybe they mean like
cheaper.
in the club. Is that what you mean?
Yeah,
Like a
to be
table?
like, yo, you giving it up so he can say, yo, it's us 10. You know what I'm saying? It's us 10. It's us 10. Nothing's worse than was like
trash.
Nothing's worse than when it's like the table's not in your name and you're a dude and you going up to the line with the nigga with the money and he'd be like, yeah, it's us. All right, let's get back to it. Welcome everybody to the first episode of the year, episode 61. We made it to 2021. Just to let everybody know, this is our 7-day trial. If it goes bad, we can go back to 2020. I like her voice.
Yeah, I like Mulatto. She's still. I mean, I gotta stop saying that because most of these people who started in the industry started young. I keep saying she young, but
Ain't she young?
They all started young.
Not really.
Monica started singing when she was 12. Singing about shit she don't know nothing about.
2
so
Chainz was rapping at 40. If you start looking at 2 Chainz and Rick Ross, they was old. Hold on. Two niggas.
see, that's what I'm saying.
Trying to hit the lotto need
All right.
Do a gun?
no 7-Up.
Woo! Get your ass pop, nigga.
No 7-Up, Sprite.
So for those who do not know, yesterday was interesting.
Right.
I don't know how to say it. I don't know how to get there. But before I want to congratulate all the black people.
For what? Staying their ass in the house.
Staying their ass in the house. Let's toast to it.
So Gavin got these drinks. Who gave y'all these drinks?
Shout out to Mama Jackie for the cola champagne. If you
Let's
don't
see
know, now you know.
Let me see what it tastes like. Because Jackie always bringing some interesting stuff around. Like she brought them chips.
Which was crack.
Them chips was from Walmart. We was like, we ain't never seen these before. Them chips was banging.
They might have like a special Walmart.
It smelled good.
Go ahead and try it.
Okay.
She said okay.
It do taste like a cream soda.
Oh shit.
So it's got champagne in it?
No. Hey, when niggas that stupid question.
It say cola, champagne, soda. Maybe it's soda and champagne. Maybe Jackie's trying to get us a little lit.
Sorry for everybody who saw me walk across Keith's camera.
He disrespectful. It's good though.
It is good. It's cola champagne tastes like, if you don't know, it tastes like a Coca-Cola mixed with cream soda.
It's a lot of calories though.
Don't look at the sugar.
Oh Jesus.
It's so much sugar in this shit.
Oh my gosh, look at the added sugar. I need to go to the gym.
Let me tell y'all something.
This is diabetes in a can. Jackie, don't buy this no more.
Bruh, she don't buy it for her. She bought it for Macho, and Macho only drunk one. I drank the rest. It was a wrap.
Bruh.
Yesterday,
For
for those who not know, this little can has like 60 grams of sugar in it.
57 to be exact.
Shout out. So just to let everybody know, I'm not shouting nobody out because I don't believe in politicians at all. So before we get there, I do want to say, but shout out to the black man. What's his name? What's his name who flipped us in it?
Yeah, I was going to say, first shout out to Georgia.
Shout out to Georgia.
Because they showed up and they showed out.
If I'm going to shout out anybody, I'm shouting out Stacey Abrams.
Because she said, oh, we got a problem here. Let me show y'all something real quick.
Sorry, that's not the one we wanted.
Oh, we got a problem here?
That's what she said. So for those who not know who Stacey Abrams is, she got y'all president and she flipped the Senate. If you do not know who she is, you need to look her up, do your research, and then you need to tweet her a thank you. Stacey Abrams ran for the governor of Georgia, if I'm not mistaken. She talked about, she had the backings of like Obama, Oprah. She talked about how the voting down there in Georgia was so rigged. And, you're going to get gas from this drink. And so, told you. And so what happened was she lost.
She lost.
And it was embarrassing. It was, I wasn't like this. I felt like it was embarrassing because it was everybody around the country voting for her, wanting her to win, rooting for her. Excuse me. That's the word I should use. And she lost, and it was tough. And I feel like when you lose at such a high level, it's so embarrassing. It's so publicized that it looks bad. And Stacey Abrams kind of just fell back. She said, "Don't worry, the fight is not over." This woman went to work.
Just like a true black woman.
Went to motherfucking work.
Let me not say it like that. Just like a black woman. I'm going to just take the true out.
Yeah, just like a black woman. She just went to work. Like she was like, all right, cool. Took an L, got something for y'all. And what happened? She came back. She realized that, yo, I got it. Like, it's okay. I remember, and we said this a couple of podcasts ago, I remember when it was election time, it was super quiet, and she tweeted, y'all don't worry. Don't worry. And I remember I text my boys, I said, yo, it's something about her saying don't worry that lets me know, like, she knows something we don't. And as the night went on, Georgia went from red to like that ugly ass red and blue. Then it went to that like ugly blue, like light blue. And then the shit was just blue. And Trump was pissed. Then she turned around this time when they have a Senate runoff, and I don't know what happened. She made another tweet. She was like, y'all.
Because this is the revote, right?
Mm-hmm. So it was too close to call, so you had to do a runoff. And what she did was, Raphael.
I was going to say, why they got Georgia like that?
I guess Georgia's so big, they have two districts. They just split it.
I was confused.
We got
I
both
was like, Georgia is missing.
Yeah.
on this map. Y'all
It's
can't
funny,
see
man. And we split it. I mean, well, what happened is the Senate started coming in, and she was busting, going. And I just shout out to her. And just shout out to Georgia. Y'all really, first of all, Georgia won this election. Black people won this election. A black woman won this election once again. Now, I will say this. Democrats, if y'all mess this up, you just know nobody's voting for like the next two elections.
Yeah,
just give y'all
I was about to say
Joe
the
Biden, that's for you.
same
Kamala,
thing.
that's for you.
I was like, Democrats is finally in the Senate. How long has it been?
Forever. They got the Senate, the House, and the presidency. If y'all can't get shit done,
Bruh, I'm telling
That's a
you,
wrap.
black folks are going to flip shit if things do not change within the next. I know it takes time for things to change
Absolutely.
when you put in, laws and stuff and rules and, all the other political stuff. But like, they better come or
mess it up if you want to.
I'm going to Africa.
My homeboy wants, literally, he talks about it every day. Shout out to Mike. He talks about it every day. So that happens. So shout out to that. But then, so that happens on, what's today? Thursday. That happens on Monday night, right? Or it happens Monday, Tuesday.
It's Tuesday, right?
Yeah, it happens on Tuesday. So Wednesday happens, and I call my boy. Shout out to my boy Will. Sorry, I just had to burp. Shit, I told you this shit worked. I call my boy Will, and I'm like, yo, what's going on? I'm talking about some photography stuff. Like I said, if you came here for photography stuff, next episode, buddy, it's a wrap for you, pal.
So aggressive.
I gotta let them know. Because, people start listening to the podcast thinking they about to come in here and learn about, f-stops and shutter speeds, and you ain't get none of that shit today. Because something more important happened. And so with all of this, I call my boy and I say, yo, what's up? Just talking about some equipment. And he goes, boy, they cutting up. I said, who? He said, these white people, they hot. And I was like, okay. And if you're a person of color, you know exactly what that means.
They hot.
They hot. They pissed. They acting up. And I was wondering today, I'm like, I wonder what do white people say about black folks? Like,
you know what they say? Niggers.
I don't know.
Sorry. You should probably bleep that out. I don't think I should say that.
They probably don't say that. But the point is, it's a joke. This is all jokes. New episode.
It's so aggressive.
This is a joke. Y'all don't get upset. But the point is, I wonder what they say. And maybe if you are white and you're a fan of the show, please let us know what it said. You can bleep it out. You don't have to say the word. You can say whatever y'all say. And so I was wondering, I'm like, yo, I was thinking about that. And so he was like, man, I said, where you at? Like, where you looking at? He said, get on Facebook, get on Twitter, turn on your TV. You'll see. Man, I'll hop on Twitter. I see people climbing walls. I said, "Where is this at?" It can't, like, I'm seeing shit. I'm like, what city is this at? I see people running through hallways. I'm like, what is this? And I'm like, oh, it's a Trump sign. I'm like, okay, maybe they set a random Trump rally or something. They got shut down or could. And I'm looking, I'm like, that DC? That DC? Bruh, I see the fucking Capitol and I'm like, ain't no way. So only thing I just type on Facebook is, this is black people. It'll be hundreds, if not thousands of bodies in the street. Laid down. And so this is early in the day. Cause then I text y'all and I'm like, y'all see this?
Bro, right before you text the group, I was on Instagram and I seen these white people in chaos and I just kept scrolling. And then you text us that and I was like, okay, let me go back. Let me go back and see what, because clearly this is what he talked about, because you sent the same image that I had just seen on Instagram. And I'm just like, these white people have lost their marbles. Like, they have literally lost their minds. Spider-Man.
So what blew your mind the most?
Spider-Man climbing the freaking walls, bro. They were literally climbing the wall. I'm like, where are they going? Where are they going?
This shit look like a cutout of Call of Duty. And if you ever play Call of Duty and you know the little cut scenes when they be showing people at the war climbing walls, like I seen one where it was like the barricade flipped and they were climbing up the, and I'm like, they climbing up the Capitol and I'm like, y'all serious? And so I'm like, okay. So then I put that in there. Shout out to an old friend of mine. Shout out to Sarah. I don't know if you want your last name said, just in case I don't know where you work at. So, and this podcast is kind of ignorant, so I ain't gonna do that to Sarah. But shout out to Sarah. I've been knowing since middle school. I met her in middle school. But she is very highly intelligent. Let me put it like that. You always know when you meet those people like in elementary and middle school and you like, they're gonna be smart one day. They already too smart. Like they in the high classes and they are already smart.
That was me.
Okay. They might be. I don't know. Like my homegirl Tasia was like that.
I can see that.
She was. In the fourth grade, I was like, oh, she's gonna be somebody. In the fourth grade. But anyway, Sarah's the same way, and Sarah be going in. I'm not gonna say she goes in on Republicans because I don't think that's the case, or conservatives. I think she goes in on crooked politicians, and she's been having a field day. And she was like, absolutely. And she made a comment, and she was like, this sounds about white to me. And so then I scroll, and another white person wrote, only white folks. I saw something else. When I saw white people saying white people, like how we say it in the community,
white people,
I said, oh, they already know this is another breed. This is another sector in a unit. You know what I'm saying? Because we know when niggas start niggering and we like, this is a deep sector in our unit, but you know, whatever. We just act like we don't see it. And they was just like, no, everybody, it was on full display.
It's like a second realization of how they truly are. Just the first one was when George Floyd died. Because we was all stuck in the house. People actually got to freaking pay attention. And that's when white people was like, this is what's happening. Yeah. And now this is one where they see their own people. Like, what the fuck is going on?
Bruh.
Like, second revelation you got there that, you know, you guys got to get it together.
And so this is all jokes. We're going to get to the serious shit in a little bit.
I guess.
No. We telling the jokes now. Because hand claps for Black Twitter. If you don't know what Black Twitter is, you missing out. Black Twitter showed why the nigga should have never got internet. Bruh, I seen so many memes, so many jokes. And black people just laughing yesterday. Like, we knew yesterday was serious. We also knew that this could never be us. And I think every black person that participated yesterday in commentary. I was gonna say commentary, but I was like commenting, and then I was thinking of whatever. I was never good in English or science, okay? Math and social studies.
Social studies. The fuck says they're good in social studies?
Bro, Sorry,
Reggie.
You know how good my memory is. Remembering facts was not hard at all for me, buddy. I used to go in there. I used to just look at the study guide and be good, easy. So anyway, to see everything, I think all black people who participated yesterday just realized like, oh, this couldn't be us.
Never.
Now let's get these jokes off. When homeboy was in Nancy Pelosi office with his feet up, cock back just chilling, then this dude had the nerve to steal the mail.
Steal her mail. They messed up her office bad.
They did. I knew the week was going to be good when Mitch McConnell and Nancy house got spray painted. And like Mitch House said, where my money? I was
I've seen that.
A black person definitely did that. I'm gonna let y'all know that. A nigga did that. Now Nancy House, that wasn't us. I forgot what it said, but it didn't make no sense. So I was like, that can't be us.
That fool
But
said it wasn't us.
Where my money at? Somebody black wrote that. And I don't want to say it's a black woman, but it was a black woman.
Nah, I don't think it was.
Yeah. She fry her hair still. She still like get perms.
Don't. Hey, chill out, bruh.
I'm just like
taking the jokes a little too far.
The only thing I'm saying is
ain't nothing wrong with a perm.
these are jokes, people. Black women, please.
You
don't
see, I was about to. I got us.
Just to let y'all know, I could tell you what she looked like, her age, height, build. I can tell.
Here you go. Anyway,
I can tell by the question mark.
Black Twitter. Back to Black Twitter.
Classic. They had videos going. They were making jokes. And then I started noticing what did you see? Like, what was funny for you yesterday?
Bruh. It's so much. I really can't keep up, to be honest with you. It was literally back to back to back. It would be serious stuff, and then it would be like a list of memes from Twitter, because I don't really be on Twitter like that. But whoever runs Baller Alert puts Twitter stuff on their page. Like,
absolutely.
This is what's going on Black Twitter. And
Bruh.
I'm just like, what the fuck is people?
Bruh, when I was watching the news and they were showing this white dude who was down on the floor and he was getting helped up so he can climb, and he had his what's this?
Like these.
Oh my God. Oh, those memes. Oh yeah, I seen one meme. It was like it was kind of what I was saying earlier. This lady was like no, Daryl. Remember we was talking about him? Dash. He's stupid funny. He was like, damn, y'all don't even let us get a week into this year.
Bruh.
To like,
excuse me.
Really, Key?
I'm sorry. Look, this one says 5 days in. Bruh. All right, 2022.
Bruh, I seen one lady was just like, yo, can I get my money back? Like, I'm in the trial period.
I seen that too.
Black people was cutting up yesterday, and it was so funny. Now, the jokes was great.
I cannot with the people.
Lindsey Graham can kiss my ass, though. It was, and now, and this is going to a little serious. It was annoying yesterday, though, listening and watching people backtrack and act like, oh no, this is not my, I don't subscribe to this. And, hearing, black folks, I'm going to tell y'all this now. Stop celebrating Lindsey Graham and these other Republicans and these other people who used Trump for the last 4 to 5 years. I know he's only been in office for 4 years, but he's been campaigning for almost 6 years. Stop. It was a lot of politicians yesterday who was backtracking, who literally used this man to get elected.
Yeah.
Or reelected. And a lot of them yesterday finally grew some balls just so they can get reelected again whenever their times is up. Because they said, I denounced Trump when basically he called for a mob to show up. Like yesterday was supposed to be, apparently from what I figured out today, yesterday was supposed to be an actual protest. And we didn't get that yesterday. There was no protest.
It was terrorists.
You can call it terrorists. I think
criminals.
That is definitely a word. You could see people you can call them rioters. You can call them whatever you want.
Except protesters.
You can't call them protesters. When you breaking into, like, I don't think people really, really understand. For those who do not care, and for those, if you use this podcast to get away from politics, wrong podcast, buddy. You're gonna get it today. Who texted me? Oh, I don't like texting. But
Gavin's so rude. Yeah.
In Washington D.C., the most secure place is supposed to be the White House. The second most secure place allegedly supposed to be the Capitol. CMS, Charlotte Mecklenburg school system, is more secure than the Capitol was yesterday. The grocery store up the street from my house is more secure. You can go ahead and burp, girl. Just gotta say excuse me.
No, I was just gonna say I don't think it was the fact that it wasn't secure enough. I think that,
bro, they was breaking in offices. I
think that the people that's supposed to be securing the place is on the same side as the people that was probably freaking breaking in. Because I heard somebody say that they're not even stopping them; they just letting them in. I think it was a video or something of the
police was moving barricades.
Moving the
like,
things out the way, and I'm just like, no wonder they getting in here. Like, there's no way you have government people, because police are not, they are protecting a government building.
Absolutely.
There's no way you don't know how to stop whoever coming into this place. You have to be letting these people in.
Yo.
Like, that make no sense.
Yesterday was an inside job. I don't care what nobody say. And then when people's like, well, who are you going to say was the insider? Trump. He's in charge of the country.
Still, until the 20th.
Until the 20th. Unless y'all want to grow some more balls or 25 of them.
What somebody's saying they using some
the 25th Amendment.
Yeah.
But from what I saw today on the news, it's a lot of paperwork that got to go into that.
Man,
and
just
that
wait till the 20th.
the paperwork. Well, the thing is, if you do that, he can't hold any government office ever again. So that's the benefit of it.
Oh, okay, got you. Okay, go ahead, proceed.
Proceed. See how niggas just flip. Get him out of here. So the thing is, you run into this situation. What the fuck was talking about? See,
My bad, I got you distracted.
got me twisted. But what I realize is I'm looking at this yesterday and I go, it's an inside job because he's over everything. I'm seeing barricades get moved back. I'm seeing police officers take selfies. I'm seeing people getting helped. Literally, one woman wasn't where she was supposed to be, and they're like on the steps cutting up. And I seen a police officer help her down the steps. And I was like, I seen one where they're climbing a federal building. I don't even know. I've taken pictures outside of federal buildings and security was not playing. And I respect it. I'm like, okay, y'all might be right. It's a federal building. I understand, right? For people to help people up and down, and then to watch people climbing, and then you got your hands in your pocket,
chilling.
I was like, oh, we already know what this is. And so I think, my problem was I dealt with a lot of people yesterday. It was only 3. Let me stop lying. In 2021 about who be hitting me up. But I definitely had, I called this one white lady Karen. She was hot.
What happened? Can't even get it out.
Bruh, I'm on Facebook and one white lady, shout out to her. Yeah, shout out to her because she's a good woman. And she was just like, this is a mess, whatever. She didn't vote for Trump at all, but she was just like, this is a mess. This isn't America. I'm like, this is very much America. We'll get to that in a little bit. And I said, you need to call this what it is. This is white supremacy. This is white privilege. And I think the word white supremacy scared her. And I will explain what I mean for people that do not understand. When white supremacists are able to invoke things and white power just shows through. And it's an act of white supremacy. I truly, truly believe that. So when I'm watching everything and I told her that, I don't believe this has to do with race. I'm like, go back and look at the pictures when black people was there. I said, it's nothing but white people there. I see Confederate flags. I see Trump signs, which to me was just another sign for whatever. I see police officers, even though 4 people were killed, and we see one on camera. I saw nothing at that time when I was writing her. I said, we see people getting helped. We see people when you are breaking into a federal government building and the police literally take pictures with you. I do not understand. That does not make sense to me. And I told her, I said, if it was black people, they'd be dead. And I'm telling you, it's because of the color of their skin. Yeah. And so her friend chimes in because Shorty had to go to work. So I knew she wasn't going to have time to go back and forth with a real G. You feel me? So her friend hopped in and was just like, this has to do with race. I'm like, yes, it does. Again, you need to get this up. And she was like, no, it doesn't. So me and her going back and forth. And I was like, all right, Karen. What made it worse, her name was Kathy. And so she was like, don't you talk about me and my family. I said, I didn't say nothing about you and your family. I asked you go do your research. I said, go research why the police was created. Go research the first job of the police. Go research. I said, you guys are telling me this is not American. Meanwhile, from the time America was founded, and I was like, it's 3 principles I believe America has been founded on, maintained on, and built on. So let's do founded on, built on, and maintained on. Murder, theft, and lies. I really believe that if you look at those 3 periods, that's what really kept America. That's what America really, those are 3 principles. This whole freedom, a safe haven, America was not built on that, founded on that, or maintained on that. I don't have time. And, I said this in 2020 and I broke it on the 6th day. I said I'm not arguing with white people over a certain age about race. And she was like, it's people like you who bait race. And I called her Karen again. And then, you know what Karen did? Shorty backtracked. Once her friend was like, oh, I love you both. It sucks to see you guys go back and forth and you're both photographers. Like, fuck that. I don't care about her being no photographer. She's still going to catch a couple of straight. Like,
so feisty.
And then she was like, I'm sorry. I just had surgery. The meds. And she deleted all her comments.
White people always do the most.
I said, what a Karen move to close the argument.
You know what words white people don't like? Karen and white supremacy.
Absolutely.
Calling them a white supremacist.
Absolutely. All right. Yeah, you can't call them anything like, you can't call them supremacists, you can't call them racist, and you can't call them Karen. And then she called me Karen.
That don't work.
It didn't work. And I wrote her, I was like, that is funny to me. It doesn't offend me. It offends you, Karen. And I called her Karen like 3 times and she was out of there. And so to see people really run from yesterday and not call yesterday what it was. And I think, here's my thing. To me, it was interesting. Before we go there, let me tell you when I knew yesterday was going to be bad. When I went on Twitter and I saw Trump call Mike Pence a coward, the second in command, your boy, who you've been telling us for 3 years and 3.75 years that he was the greatest man ever, you call him a coward 2 weeks left in the race. I said, oh, today is going to be great. Right. And then it kept going. And then apparently Pence unfollowed Donald Trump and followed him back again. That can't be confirmed or denied. What you got to say?
Nothing. Who else was giving, who was backtracking?
Lindsey Graham did. I don't know. Like, it's just, I didn't even go through. This is what I was going to say earlier. Black people, stop celebrating Lindsey Graham, especially if you got roots in South Carolina and you know cool people in South Carolina. Stop saying, oh, shout out to Lindsey Graham. No, bro. He literally said black people ain't safe to walk around in his state. Don't be talking around here talking about something, oh, let's celebrate him now. Fuck him. Sorry, Pops. Rudy Giuliani, his commentary about what can happen yesterday. I gotta find this. Hold on.
Yeah, because I didn't see that.
Oh, you ain't
I told you I've been trying to keep my peace and stay off social media.
Rudy Giuliani.
These people is crazy.
Rudy said some shit yesterday. Hold on, man. I gotta find it. We might have to start these cameras over. Sorry for everybody if you're listening. Of course, only thing I see is the Borat shit of him. What did this dude say yesterday?
Neck hurt.
Why? Oh well, I'll find it later. But he basically was just like, yo, show up. We got shit to do. He was like, show up tomorrow. Because they knew it was going to be a rally. But he said something more like discouraging than that. It was super sad. It was super crazy. This is why I got to be more prepared for this shit. But anyway,
wonder what Candace Owens has said.
Who knows? Who knows?
That's interesting. Let me go to her Instagram real quick.
Who knows? And so Rudy Giuliani, you know what you said. If you do not know, Tommy Lauren, she was on there beef fighting with everybody.
She really that is one person who
grinds your gears.
Yes. Oh my gosh. I just want to.
She's So you asked me.
I'm not for violence, just FYI.
She's not. You said that. You said, hold on.
What'd I say?
You want to start the cameras?
What'd I say?
You asked me how Tommy got popping.
Yeah, I asked what the hell she do because I don't know what she do for a
living.
living.
So I told Key, I said,
she ain't got no job. She Tommy.
She's not. I mean, she's a personality.
She's Tommy. Get it? From Martin. She don't got no job.
I'm not even going to laugh at your thing. I'm not laughing. Get up. I hate you.
That's why she
I hate you. If you guys don't know, that's a Martin reference for all of our non-people of color watching. I hate Key, by the way. Key asked me. Key is over here laughing off camera, still laughing. You probably can't hear. You can't hear her because I'm doing whatever. But Key asked me who is Tommy Lauren and how she got popping. If you do not know, because you probably do not care, you probably should know that Tommy Lauren is a blonde hair, blue-eyed person who gets I state that because she follows a a look. And you'll understand what I mean in a little bit. And it has
Excuse me.
Come on, man. We trying to get sponsors and you over here burping mid shit. Come on, bro. I got to burp too. God dang it.
Really gonna cuss me out.
Yeah, and Kursla.
And Joy. They're like, he's so nasty.
Absolutely. But Tommy Lauren, getting back to her, she says things to get black people riled up. I have to state that. I think that's important to note. I think that most black people are figuring that out. I think a lot of black people are starting just to ignore her. I think majority of white people are annoyed with her as well because they know she says those lines that's just hot takes. That's all she does. She gives you the hot take and she gets popping because she's trending or she keeps getting retweeted or people are cussing her out and she feeds off of that. It's the energy. She is now a personality. She is somebody that's on Twitter that's going in. She is also somebody that has found her way on CNN, on Fox, speaking. And she has found her way working for the president, doing things for him. So she does have a job, but her job is just to give out these like spewing hated topics. And what ends up happening is as soon as she gets corrected or informed or proven wrong or clowned, she's on to the next hot topic just to get people riled up. So yesterday she was saying some things about, you know, basically saying this is wrong, but this isn't white supremacy and all this other crazy. Then she was just flat out saying like, yo, you guys were doing this type deal. They found one of her old tweets saying, hey, it won't happen, but if Trump so happens to lose the election, his hardworking supporters would just go back to work. Well, bitch, they was climbing walls.
Spider-Man.
Basically, they was going off. And I'm going to say this. I ain't did no show notes. So I got to say this. I'm not going to say bruh's name because it's not important. And I'm pretty sure y'all tight about all the damn bleeps I did. Sarah know who this person is. I don't think she follow him no more. He went to school with me. And bruh talked about how he had to delete. He's deleting his social media. First of all, I hate when niggas announce they deleting their social media.
Why deleting it?
He's deleting it because he has to find peace.
I'm trying to find peace too.
Yeah, but he's finding peace because he voted for Trump, and he voted for Trump based off his religious views.
What?
We'll get there. And because he gave a paragraph, I skimmed it. I knew it was shit from the top. Well, no, it took me 3 paragraphs to realize this. But when I got to the end, he started talking about his beliefs, his religious beliefs, and how, you know, it's not cool and everything like that. And so I get to say this. The people who looked the biggest fools yesterday, I don't think Trump looked like the biggest fool. I never thought Trump wanted to be the president. I don't think he even loved being the president. I do think he loved that, yo, when this is finally over, no matter what, I will have the publicity I need.
He probably got some type of underpayment for it.
I got the intel that I need. I have the free security for life that I need. No matter what, people always talk about Trump is going to jail because of the state. He's never going to jail. He'll die before they make him go to jail. And I say that because he's so old. And by the time the legal team start doing what they got to do, bro probably would have passed. Sorry, no offense. You know, he got kids. I don't want them, you know, whatever. They
sent Bill to jail. They could send him to jail too.
Bill who? Cosby?
Yeah.
He ain't the president.
It don't matter. He old as hell too.
Yeah, but he ain't the president.
And don't they still get a check after?
I don't know about all that.
I think they still get some type of stipend. Is that the right
Maybe,
word?
but he's gonna make so much money. You only make $400,000 being a president. You make millions once you get done. Man, this dude Barack, we got 2 of his books in our house, and I don't even read.
My man said only 400,000. I'll take 400,000.
Not to be the president. I wouldn't.
You might be
My
right.
boy has a theory on the
right.
reason why we have shitty presidents is because it's not enough money. You don't attract the smartest, most qualified people.
Really?
Yeah, I know. But it's something that nobody really talks about. But anyway, going back to my thing. I'm looking at Homeboy's Facebook. And I'm scrolling through and I'm looking and I'm like, the people who like the biggest clowns yesterday, not Tommy, not Rudy, not Trump, not Pence, not Lindsey, not whoever else, not the people climbing the walls. The biggest people who like clowns yesterday was Christian Trump supporters. I say that to say this. You guys made a choice when you voted with your religion, which I'm not totally against, so don't even come for me or whatever. You guys found a way to say, Trump is one of us, and I must support him. Like he got. Trump has never came out and said he was a Christian.
I was finna get out of my head. I was finna say,
he never told y'all.
Did he ever state that he believed in God at all?
The only times I ever seen Trump in church was when he was campaigning in black churches.
Of course, that's when I always see politics.
And
in church.
But the thing is, at least with Obama, we saw some tithing records. You know what I'm saying? At least my man was giving his 10% up. But when I see Christians out here who are going out and saying, you know, oh my gosh, this is ungodly, and they feel embarrassed, I'm looking at them like, yo, what's the problem? We've been telling y'all shit for the last 4 years. Excuse my language if anybody want to chop this up. Or if you're a Christian, listen to this part because it's been chopped up. I'm not believing it, but y'all get it. Like, I look at all this and I say, when you solely take your religion, when you solely take that and you go to the polls, you must understand one sole thing. The people you voting for might not believe in not one thing you vote for, and you do not know these people. Mm-hmm. You need to vote for with your values, but also with your understanding what will work for you and yours and your people, and go that route. If that makes you Republican, if that makes you Democrat, if that makes you whatever else, I don't know if you blood crip, you know, whatever you picking, you got to pick that.
We're not gang affiliated over here.
Clearly, we messed up the Kappas thing earlier, but the point is, the thing is like, I'm looking at it and I'm saying, yo, I know people who are solely Republicans because they don't believe in abortion. I know that for a fact. They don't care what happens. They will vote Republican for the rest of their lives. I know a broke teacher. He is broke. He is a broke Christian teacher. At least he was broke when he was teaching me. You know what I'm saying? And I only had 2 male teachers, so you can pick which one it was if you went to high school with me in the 11th, 12th grade. And bruh, I just gave away who the person is. And the problem is like, so I don't even really know if he broke because, you know, my broke and your broke is different. So he might not be broke. But the thing is I'm trying to say is, bruh votes. He literally, when he votes, he says, abortion, I can't do it. That's a deal breaker for him. I don't think he understands what pro-choice means. That means you have a choice to do it or not do it, but whatever. That's not my business. I don't necessarily agree with abortion, but it ain't my choice to make, so I don't care. So I want everybody who has the choice. I ain't like I can do. What I'm going to do? I can't perform that. What I care? I don't get the choice anyway. So for me, when it comes to women, and being pro-choice is so much more than just, yo, you can't have babies. But that's a whole nother thing. We're not going there. But the thing is I'm trying to say is, when you solely vote with your religion, it costs you. It costs y'all. Y'all look like clowns. And I hope you understand that. And I hope the next time you vote, you understand that. And I get tired of y'all coming at me with the whole abortion and the LGBTQ plus community. They ain't bothering y'all either, man. Like, I already know what it is. And when Christians come to me and they tell me whatever, why they voting for certain things, I look and I'm like, cool, bro. It's whatever. Like, I already know what it is. You ain't got to tell me. And then when you turn around and you start doing your research, you start noticing that, wait a second, half the people y'all voting for in their fourth wife anyway. Half the people y'all voting for, you know, they stand switch, which is what we saw yesterday. A bunch of people switch sides once they realized, like Meghan McCain, who not yesterday, but she's backing up on women needs maternity leave now because she needed maternity leave. You know what I'm saying? We looking at old politicians who were against homosexual marriages until their daughter come out gay. And now they like, hey, equality. You know what I'm saying? We starting to notice shit and y'all backing up. Like, it is what it is. And so when I'm looking at it, I'm like, yo, it's cool to vote with, you need to pray before you vote, but you need to pray you make the right choice, and the right choice ain't always Republican. That's what I'm getting to.
My thing is though, like, even if you doing it religiously, like, people take a verse or something that they heard in church without actually doing their own research and
absolutely, and
actually reading into and understanding what it actually means, because it's all a metaphor, right? Like it all means something deeper than the actual verbiage.
Yeah.
And I feel like sometimes people don't actually try to get in tune to what it actually means when something is said within the Bible. And so it's like they take pieces that they want to fit their scenario and they're like, oh, I'm against that. But did you read this part that goes that goes into a little deeper into that part? It's like
that didn't count.
It's so weird how like
that didn't count. I hate when I'm like this on cam. So let me put it pause. And then Trump got banned yesterday, which was
funny. Finally, somebody said finally about time,
bruh. And now it's indefinitely. At first it was 12 hours. Bruh,
on Twitter.
On Twitter, no, but now it's indefinite. It's indefinite on Twitter and Facebook.
Facebook guy, yeah. What's his name?
Mark
got that money. Mark, send me and Gavin $1 million a piece.
Please sponsor this. Sponsor me.
Yeah, he wrote a whole note.
Bruh, nothing was funny on everything he was posting. You kept seeing like false. On Twitter, it was on. I think he only wrote one thing like "Stop the violence, please," or whatever. He's like, "Let's be peaceful. Let's go home. Whatever." And then that was false. And I think he wrote something else and he was like, oh, please let's stop. We won this election. False. I'm like, oh my gosh, this dude can't write a correct thing to save his life. Anything else you want to close with that?
No, these white people have lost their minds. Sorry,
they have.
White people.
And shout out to all the white folks that's like, yo, they lost their mind. Yo.
They literally have lost their marbles.
And it's sad to see people lose their life. It was a lot of protesters, not even protesters, rioters, terrorists, whatever you want to call them.
Criminals.
4 people lost their lives yesterday. And while we're now starting to see how they truly feel, it's sad because I don't wish death on nobody. But at the same time, it's like some things you have to say, y'all knew better. And it's something about, and when I say you knew better, yes, I complain when black people go out and protest and they get killed. And I say the same thing. Why do I not say they knew better? I mean, excuse me. Why do I not say that I try to say, hey, I feel bad for them and things, or they knew better. Excuse me. It is they knew better. It's because they were being peaceful. Now, when I see black folks cutting up, I got stuff to say. But at the same time, I'm keeping that same energy for everybody. A lot of y'all yesterday, Tucker Carlson, you too, buddy. He backtracked on Fox yesterday.
Too, buddy.
This MFer who has been accused of having a racist writer on his staff who writes his monologues, who had to be fired because they found out he's in like racist KKK groups. He's been fired. He was on Fox News yesterday talking about we need to have understanding and understand that this is a voice of protest and all this. It's like, bro, no. You ain't had that same energy when people was black laying down getting tear gas for walking. Like, so if you can't have that energy now, don't have it. You know what I'm saying? Whatever. If you ain't have it back then, don't have it now. So, but people lost their lives yesterday and they knew better. And it's like, but it's one of those things where people are so deranged and they just so out of their mind. They just lose focus. And it's honestly, yesterday was sad. It was embarrassing. But at the same time, like I wrote in the Facebook group, stay y'all black asses at home. This ain't our fight. That's literally what I wrote in that group.
Did you see the 2 black people that was out there?
From Power?
I seen 2 separate.
From Power? Did you watch Power this week?
Did not.
So you don't get the Tyreek meme?
I don't.
Are you watching Power?
I have not watched Power.
Okay, so Tyreek is telling the dude who plays Bobby Brown from New Edition. He tells him he's about to kill. Spoiler alert if you ain't watching Power. But he tells him, he's like, yo, I'm going to kill him. You just need to go somewhere where people can be seen. And Kane goes, cool. And then they show the black boy in the middle of the doggone thing yesterday with his hat backwards, just chilling. Because that's kind of what Kane was wearing.
Okay.
So that's why it was funny. It's like, this is what this nigga chose to go to. He said, go somewhere to be seen. And then in the movie, Kane doesn't go nowhere. He stands behind a tree. But the point is, he was like, this is where you went?
That's where he went to be out there.
Did you see the black dude in the Crenshaw shirt?
But I did see a black guy yelling something about Black Lives Matter with the white people. It wasn't for Black Lives Matter, but it was something against it. And I was like,
half the shit that go on with Black Lives Matter ain't for Black Lives Matter anyway. But it just get labeled that. You know how people do. They be like, oh, it's a lot of black people in the street, Black Lives Matter protesting. It's like, no, we just went to Salvation Army.
They was yelling something against Black Lives Matter because it was the white people. The white people.
They had a black dude. He was literally walking around. He had a shirt that said Crenshaw. And they was like, yo, bro, just trying to get a stimulus check. It was so
Did you see that? I seen a meme today of this lady on the computer. They was like, me at the Capitol trying to change my stimulus to $10,000. I was like, I need black people to get off the internet. I need y'all to get off of the internet.
Bruh. Black people had fun yesterday. Shout out to us, man. Speaking of stimulus checks, did you get yours? I know the answer already.
I was like, no, it just got mailed yesterday. I don't know. I didn't check my mail. It might be in there.
Shout out to Turbo. Turbo's Hack sent me a email saying that the IRS messed up something, and that if you do not know, please check your email if you work with or you've used TurboTax, because it's all confusing. But there's an error, and once the error gets corrected, which they're hoping to have done soon, your checks will be mailed or deposited. And if you're like me, who during this whole pandemic closed down certain bank accounts because you just never use them and you don't feel like paying them dumbass fees, especially if you have Bank of America, you know, your shit will get rejected and then it will be mailed to you. It's just, this is all a mess.
I told y'all that the other day when y'all sent that. I was like, it's probably, if it gets rejected, they're going to send you a paper check.
Yeah.
My thing is, mine said they sending me a paper check, but the first one they deposited in my bank account. It didn't make any sense to me.
The IRS said they're upping small business audits by 50% next year. So
What that mean?
you niggas going to jail.
Who going to jail?
The PPP scammers, for all y'all that did them EDL loans or whatever them little grants was, where you get $1,000 for every employer you got on your payroll, and y'all said y'all got 10 employees, so y'all get 10 G's, and you know your lash business, or you selling thongs from AliExpress, and y'all are going to jail. You're not going to go.
Thongs.
They're not going to jail, but what's really, really going to happen is the IRS is going to contact you. I'm going to give y'all the game now, and I have no knowledge of this, so don't listen to shit I'm about to say. They're going to contact you guys. They're going to ask you for all of those 10 Social Security. You're going to have to find 10 friends that are willing to give you their Social Security, which they will not, because that is crazy. And then what they're going to do is say, all right, they're going to give you some type of date, and if you don't have that money, you're in trouble. I'm just giving y'all a heads up. And did you apply for that? You didn't have your LLC yet.
I haven't applied for nothing.
When they sent that information out, they didn't even ask. It was so easy. It was like, and I don't know if I'm gonna say people, because I don't even think this is a people of color thing. But I only really know black folks. But I only know niggas. But the point is, look here, niggas. They made it easy for people to scam, to know that we're going to get money out of you, and we're going to lock some people up in the process. A lot of programs they had were made super easy so they can do what they're about to do. The whole PPP thing. I know tons of people, actually do not if the IRS is listening. I know tons of people that lied on their PPP loan and got 20 grand, and they're going to be in trouble. I know a couple of people. I know more people who did the other thing where it's like $1,000 for everybody you have on staff, and they're going to be doing some time. And what's sad is they're going to close down your LLC or whatever. You might not be able to open up another business thing. I'm telling you all the possible ways they can probably go about this. And a lot of people are going to be in trouble. And it's going to suck because y'all thought y'all was going to be able to get over it. And it's just like, yo.
Not key.
These people get their money, bro. Like, they get it. They do not care. They will get their money and they're going to get it. Speaking of scammers, have you watched the McMillions?
I don't even know what you're talking about.
You didn't even let me get it out.
It don't matter. You said something about McMillion, and I don't know what.
How much time on
that? You can't see.
No. If I point at it, I can't see.
You got new glasses.
Nah. These
You
ones,
just clean.
Yeah. These the one Hayden picked out. Bruh, he came to my house yesterday, handed me my wedding ring, was like, oh, I found this in my pocket, and walked back to his mom's car.
Gavin, that don't make no sense. Where your wedding ring at now?
On my finger. It's not this one. It's my other one that I don't wear. So that's the thing. I would have never looked for it unless I was planning on wearing silver that day.
You probably lost it. Hayden probably had it the whole time.
Who knows? Well, I got it back now. How much time on? We good?
Yes.
Okay. McMillions. You remember the McDonald's Monopoly game, right?
Sure.
You don't remember the McDonald's game where you on the food?
Yes, I know.
Okay, so say yes. I hate when niggas come on here. If you do not know, or if you're watching this, it is interesting. Check it out. But it's about how the McDonald's Monopoly game was a full scam. They talked about how you never saw anybody win. But no, it was like a scam from the mob. And the mob got $24 million off this whole thing. And it was amazing.
Because it had people like buying McDonald's and shit?
No,
like,
they
what
had
was it? Because he had to steal the stickers off.
They had an inside guy who worked for the people that printed it off. And he would print off tickets and sell them. And he was selling them to people. And the mob guy, the way it was very interesting. The dude who was in charge of the tickets, he came up with it. He started working with a guy in the mob, and what ended up happening was they would come to somebody like you. They actually used one. His wife,
ain't no fool.
His wife actually told him. She said, "You do not have any women winning, and you don't have any women of color winning. It's going to look suspicious." He was picking nothing but people who had Italian names. And she was like, "Yo, are you stupid? Like, you're going to be in trouble." So what happened is he would come up to somebody like Key, say, "Hey, do you want to win some money?" Key would be like, "Yeah." He'd be like, "This ticket is going to cost you $50,000 or $20,000. You would look at it and be like, "Oh, it's $1 million. Sure, I come up with, I mortgaged my home. One lady actually mortgaged her home. People were selling stuff. They would give you the ticket. Then once you won, they would come to you and say, you getting $50,000 for the next 20 years, whatever the case may be, whatever it was, right?" And you'd be like, "Yeah." You'd be like, "All right, we won't have. I'm with the mob." And then so all these people were winning. And so it got out of hand because they started getting caught. They started noticing. So the way they got noticed was funny. 3 cousins won.
Gavin,
cousins won.
how do you find these stories, bro? You just be randomly looking up shit?
Nah, I be like, I was hearing something on some type of interview and was like, "Oh, did you hear about the McMillion scheme?" I'm like, "What the hell is that?" And the dude was like, "Yeah, did nobody never notice that you never met anybody that won something more than just the food?"
Why? Because the mob killed him?
No. But if you think about it, it's like the dude was printing off the winning tickets. He was selling them. So you never met anybody, or you never heard nobody that won more than just food. So apparently, like, all but like a few were like legit. All but a few were fake winners. And so this shit went all down the East Coast, then it went to the West Coast, and it was crazy. It was crazy to hear like how sophisticated and how just loose it was, and kind of stupid, but then also like brilliant at the same time. But anyway,
loose.
I still got 2 more episodes to listen to. To watch. So if you ever get a chance, you're on YouTube, go check it out.
Be watching most random stuff.
Absolutely. 3 more topics, man. Let's get it so we can go eat. Kim and Kanye getting a divorce. We shouldn't have.
I was gonna say, what are you about to press?
I ain't got shit to play for that.
You should have pressed the little birds.
What you got to say? Because I know you care so much.
I don't care at all.
Did you see it coming?
I could definitely see that coming. I could definitely see it as a possibility.
Do you believe it?
No.
Can you tell them what I'm saying?
He said, "Do I believe it?"
I hate you.
Haven't they been through this before though? Like, haven't they been down this road where she's like, she can't take it anymore, she's ready to leave?
Nah, not really. I think the only time they did say when he was running for president, she was really like, "All right, that's gonna be one of your little screens too.
You
Don't be
better
mad."
not.
I think only one time she said that she was really not feeling this whole "I'm running for president" thing, and that was like bothersome. Apparently,
when he talked about him not wanting to have their first child first, when he was like, yeah, she was feeling some type of way.
Yeah, I mean, as she should, but I mean,
right. That's when she was crying. That's when she was crying in that car, making that face.
Yeah, but that was all staged. Come on, niggas believe that.
So this do you think this is?
Yeah,
where we go?
Yeah, honestly, I mean,
well, there you have it, kids.
Bruh, she bought him over $1 million worth of art for Christmas, which was a week ago, and he bought her 5 Maybachs a week ago.
Why do you need that many? It's only one of you.
Exactly. Like
what? I don't understand what rich people be trying to prove.
I don't believe shit with the Kardashians.
Oh, them your peoples.
Yeah, I fucks with them. Why? What's wrong with them?
You just say you don't believe shit with them, so why do you fuck with them?
You know me in real life, so you understand what I'm saying about this. I believe people at face value. Mm-hmm. I don't have to go deep with you. I believe what I see. I believe what I experience with you, and I have never met them. My only experience with them is that they do shit for publicity. So I don't believe nothing they say.
That's how they got started.
Absolutely. And I don't trust anything that comes out of there. When he was going, I do believe he has an issue.
Oh yeah, must have.
But I think his issue is lighter than what most people, what bothers me mostly about Kanye is a lot of people come out and say, like I said, I saw a bunch of posts on Twitter like, oh, we'll get the old Kanye back. This is the same Kanye. I don't know what everybody's been listening to, what everybody's been watching.
I was going to say he was like this before they got married, before they got together.
If you, I say this all the time. I have Kanye West's mom's book, the one she wrote the year she passed about him or the year before. And in her book, she states, the man y'all see is the man that I raised in the sense of he talks like it's only you and him in the room.
Yeah. And
she said with that, he doesn't understand that he's on a radio station. He's on TV. It's millions of people is watching him. He will hurt millions of people. He has a conversation with you and he thinks it's just you and him. And she said with that, I was in a household where she said, I raised him in a household where you can't correct him. She said, so it's no, this is a dumb thought or question. It is this is my thought process. I'm thinking and speaking at the same time. And I say stupid stuff. And she says in her book, she got to this way. Excuse me. I do this. She got that to that point because she talked about the George Bush thing. And she said, it surprised millions of people. It surprised, she said a lot of people celebrating, but she said, I wasn't surprised at all. She said, I've heard him say things in the opposite direction. It's just as crazy. But she was like, we sit down, we talk those things out. We have conversations. We say, okay. And then he'll be like, all right, cool. And then he'll just go back, whatever. And so when he says crazy things, that's why whenever we write in group and everybody be like, oh, Kanye say that? I'm like, no surprise there. And I guess I had that opinion of him in 06, 07, somewhere around there when I was reading the book. And I was just like, damn, that is weird. And I don't excuse nothing. I think what his mom was basically getting at, he's going to say ignorant things all the time.
Yeah, but it seems like with his mom, he also had an outlet or a resource, which was her, to kind of like talk those things through, basically, before it got something too crazy. And it sounds like he doesn't have that anymore. And so everybody gets everything 100% or whatever he's saying. And I think he's like losing it. And
what's funny is because somebody asked him why he wasn't out there protesting. Like with all this, not recently, but like before, like why isn't he out there? And he was like, huh?
I'm about to call you girl. But I thought you was talking about out there with the white people.
No. I want to say it was with George Floyd. It was something, but he was out there. He had his hoodie on. You couldn't tell it was him, but somebody got one little screenshot of him. But it was something else. And he said, I remember in the interview, he said, I only have one parent. My dad called me and said, sit down. You don't need to be out there. You don't need to be saying nothing. If you want to go out there, you need to not be seen. And he was like, honestly, I had to listen to my parent. He's like, I only have one parent left, and it was the right time to listen to him. And it was like interesting. And if you ever have the time, it's a long ass interview for anybody that doesn't want to listen. But you should go find the highlight reel of it when he sat down with what's that guy? What's the guy named? Joe Rogan. He has a 3-hour interview with Joe Rogan. He's very sound, sane, and very, you realize like he tries to be Elon Musk, and we're going to talk about him in a little bit, but like he thinks so far in advance, and he says things, and it's honestly, it's because he's so fucking rich that you don't see what's happening right here, right now, what we dealing with. But that's a whole nother subject. But anyway.
I think Kanye been to therapy?
I hope so. I imagine people like him go to therapy a lot. You talking about for the loss of his mom or just like right now?
General, everything.
Right. I hope so. I mean, only thing that ever bothered me about him and Kim, like I don't, like I said, I think everything is for their show. Everything that comes out of their family mouth. But like when they were saying like, yo, he's on meds and he needs to get back on his meds, I thought that was highly disrespectful for me.
You know, I'm not one for the meds. Don't take the meds.
Yeah, I think sometimes people need some. Some people, yeah, I think some people got chemical imbalances. I'm not saying that they need to be drugged up and what, but you know, whatever. But my thing is I don't like to see black men just get labeled as mentally ill from non-people of color.
Sure.
Take that how you want.
Anywho,
prayers for Dr. Dre.
I know, right?
Brain aneurysm. He said he's doing well, but then the next day niggas try to rob his house.
Those things is scary, bruh.
Yeah, it said he just had a bad headache and he went to the doctor and they found. Like, how does that even I don't. Well, I guess you don't really know it. Like,
yeah, it's random.
I don't want to know what it feels like, but I imagine.
I do not want to know what it feels like.
I just imagine it's stupid painful. Elon Musk is the richest man in the world. I'm not giving you hand claps unless you're gonna do something with it.
Unless you're gonna give it to us.
Absolutely.
At least a couple million.
If you have not heard Nori's podcast with Pharrell, he talks about Elon Musk and he said, Pharrell, so how you want to say it? Gracious?
Humble.
Yeah.
I don't know
Both.
where you getting at.
If you go listen to what Pharrell has to say about Elon Musk, oh, that's changed my face. My face look better when the computer on my face. If you go listen to what Pharrell said, Pharrell found a nice way to say. Gotta have my angles out here, man. Pharrell found a nice way to say that Elon Musk could help empower people of color. I want to say he actually said black people, but it doesn't matter. He said he can correct a lot of things. It seemed like he was going to go and say, but Elon Musk doesn't want to. But I think the nice way he said it is Elon Musk is thinking 40 years from now. He said, if anybody can get Elon Musk to think about 2021 or 2025, he could fix a lot of issues that people of color, especially black people, go through. He said, but unfortunately, he's thinking 2040. And he was like, but in him being humble is basically what he was saying was, that's why he's where he's at today, because he thinks decades ahead. He does not think about today. And he's like, but I've talked to him to try to, or he said, I think Pharrell was trying to say, I tried to talk to him, and his humbleness and basically was like, he wasn't trying to hear me. But if you listen to it, you can tell Pharrell was frustrated. And of course, Nori and all them, they all over there drunk and laughing and wasn't able to really let Pharrell go in. I hope he does another interview, preferably with either Charlemagne, Joe Budden, somebody who really gonna let him expound on why he felt that way with Elon, or us. You can come up here. You can wear your mask, bro. Interesting there. Last thing before we get up out of here. The biggest red flag you've ever seen in a relationship. Go.
You always put me on blast, bro.
Come on, man.
You go first.
Biggest red flag I ever seen in a relationship.
You having to think about things.
Bro, it was on the paper.
I didn't read that last part. I thought it was done after that.
Yeah, I know, right? Biggest red flag. All right. I wasn't dating her. We was never in a relationship. This girl told me she don't believe in giving men gifts.
I feel like you told me that before.
Probably so. I think she went to your school.
So why is that a red flag for you? Is it a red flag just for you in particularly though, right?
Yeah. But I think that's a red flag. I asked her, I was dumb too. I was young and dumb. So charge it to my heart, not head, or head, not to my heart. I don't know. Don't charge it shit. Point is, I asked Shorty, we was out to eat, you know what I'm saying? And we was just grabbing lunch. And I asked her, I think I bought her lunch. No. I didn't buy her lunch. This was when I was smooth. You know, you show up like 5 minutes, 10 minutes late. Be like, yo, go in and get us a seat. And no girl's going to sit there by herself for 2 minutes and wait for you to come in so she can come order food because she don't want to look like a bird, right? So you tell her like, yo, go get us a seat. She's going to order because she don't want to look like an idiot. Then you ain't got to pay for her food. Free game for anybody who didn't know. So anyway, I asked Shorty, I said, what's the craziest gift you ever, what's the best gift you ever felt like you ever got a man? She told me, oh, I don't believe in buying dudes gifts. And I said, huh? And she was like, yeah, I got him a cake from Baskin Robbins. She's married now, by the way. So prayers to you, bruh. And I was like, really? And she's like, yeah. And I asked her why. And she was just like, I just don't feel like I should be getting you anything. Now, we was young, so we might have been 19, 20. And I just remember at that young age, I knew a lot of men who wives could not give good gifts, or they weren't getting gifts at all. And I remember saying at that age, I never want to be that guy. So I stopped talking to her that day. That was the last time I seen her, spoke to her. Probably not the last time I spoke to her. I think we talked one more time. I was like, yo, this ain't gonna work. And I was just out. Like, I never wanted to be that guy. I know a lot of miserable men who are married, who dreads or who do not look forward to any celebration because they know they're getting some dumb shit or some weak shit or just nothing at all. And I never wanted to be that guy. And I've also seen tons of women who husbands give trash, terrible, non-thoughtful, non-meaningful gifts. And I always said I never want to date anybody that felt that way. I remember one time when I was younger, and I remember the weirdest thing. Me and my dad had to drive out of state because a dude forgot that Valentine's Day was the next day. He didn't know what to get his wife. And my dad went to Victoria's Secret, got her whatever. It wasn't lingerie. It was like a gift. I think he got her like a card, but then he got all this extra stuff for this woman and gave it to her husband. We literally drove 2 hours to this man's house. My dad handed him the basket. He said, you good. And I remember hearing that woman brag about how great that gift was. And I'm thinking to myself, this nigga didn't even leave the house. I'm like, and I never respected him after that day.
This nigga didn't even leave the house.
I never respected him at all after that day. Ever. As a man, I just never, and I was probably like 10 or 11. And I just remember losing all respect because I'm like, that is so corny. And I guess it got cornier as I was going over their house and I would hear, because our families was pretty cool. But I remember just going over there and hearing this wife brag about, I think she bragged to my mom how great her gift was. And I don't think my mom even knew. And I was just like, but yeah, that's why I go out of my way with gifts now. Or I make them thoughtful at least. I ain't trying to, but I'm like.
You could be a little exaggerating. Sometimes.
But that was that. So, but yeah, Shorty, that was a red flag. I got some other red flags, but Karina mom's listening to this podcast. Has nothing to do with Karina, but it clearly.
So I think a red flag for me that I didn't think as a red flag when I was younger, but now that I'm older and dating, and I use quotations because I'm
activity.
Because I'm not really dating.
Whole activity.
This is why I don't be answering nothing, because Gavin don't know how to be quiet.
Oh, sorry.
I didn't think it was a red flag back then, but now I feel it's a red flag, at least for me in my adult age, is a guy not being able to express his feelings to me. And what I mean by that is like, okay, if you feeling a kid, let the kid know.
Oh gosh, here we go.
If you upset about something or you feel some type of way, let the kid know. It's okay for you to express how you feel, whether that's good, bad, or indifferent. I hate the one word to answer things. Like, I don't know, I'm just chilling. Da, da, da. Like, that grinds my gears. Like, if you can't communicate with me effectively.
Do you think you attract those type of dudes?
Problem.
This is a real question. This ain't no like shade or anything being funny. I'm just asking.
What I realized, and I actually just said this to myself. I said, Key, yes, I've been talking to myself. I've been at home by myself. I don't put myself in positions to actually be out and date people, is what I realized.
Well, I told you that.
No, you didn't.
Okay.
Anyway,
Key don't listen to me when I tell her certain shit. She get upset or she just don't do it. And then she has a unique way of coming back and be like, you might have been wrong.
I don't recall Gavin.
Can I give an example? It's a good example. It's nothing crazy.
I don't recall Gavin telling me, you can give the example, but let me finish my statement. I don't recall him saying that. But he gets on my nerves. But I I feel like I got to get out more. But, COVID is going on now. So I can't really, be out.
Bruh. So the one time, two things. Speaking of COVID, in my sports group, dudes was in there complaining about how they can't have sex right now because of COVID. And it was like, bruh, it's so much at risk. And now COVID, I'm dry. And one dude was like, yo, man, I'm married. I've been married for 20 years and I got COVID right now, bruh. It's terrible. I ain't had sex in 2 weeks. And somebody was like, you can't just jack it. He was like, bro, I'm sick. All right. So there was a time Key had something going on with her business. And so I text Key and gave her some marketing advice. And she pretty much gave me no, I got it. And I was like, it's cool. I was like, all right, cool, bet. Because you know what I'm saying? With me, look here. It's all good. I ain't trying to fight nobody or argue with nobody. And then we went out to eat like a week later or something. And Key was like, you was kind of right about what you said because I tried it and it worked. And I was like, duh, I only did this for years. But
First off, I didn't say, no, Gavin, I got it. I said.
Basically what she said.
I said, I'm trying to figure out how I want this later.
That ain't how she said it, y'all.
Oh, you better be glad my phone deleted all my stuff because I wish. No, it's actually still there. I'm going to show you. We gonna recap this.
About it. No. We'll recap it and then we'll come to the conclusion.
No, I ain't recapping nothing. What happened was Gavin hit me up and was like, I think you should do it this way. And I was like, well, I'm trying to figure out a certain layout that I want it to look like on my Instagram or whatever. So I've been trying to figure different things out. I said, but I have thought about doing it that way, but I want to see how this is going to go first. That's all I said. And then I was like, and then here's my thing. When somebody brings something to my attention or asks me something, it's in my head. So now I'm thinking about it like, should I change it up? Should I switch it up? Should I do something different? Should I try a different route? And so I did go to what I thought and what Gavin told me, and I did it that way.
And which one was better?
I mean, it looks nice now.
No. Which one you got more engagement on?
I got more likes on the way that I'm doing it now. When you suggested to switch it up.
See, this is the problem black men have with black women.
I just told you that, though. I just gave you your props.
Y'all see how she ran around.
Wait till y'all run it back.
Y'all gonna see. But another thing is, I had another girl. I talked to one girl she loved to be a victim, and that was a red flag for me. Going back to what we were just saying, I told you at one point in time, I was like, yo, you don't go nowhere to date. And you need to go and date. This is before the pre-pandemic. So that's what I had said to you before. But yes, it's interesting, like these red flags and shit. Because when the old girl who was like a victim, I was just like, no. And then I started noticing the reason why I asked you about you communicate with men, because it was at one point in time I kept like attracting broke bitches and it was not working. Excuse my language. Yo, man. Oh, that's what. When we talked to Key last week, I mean, not Key. We talked to Teak last week and we talked about worst dates. That was one of the worst dates I wanted to go in on. I can't remember, but I talked about how I had to get a girl a bottle of water to put in the car. I listened to that back. That was kind of fucked up. But that one stopped going. So you can only see me now.
No, you can only see Key now. You can only see
Key now. But there was a situation where I took a girl out to eat and I noticed we went way out the way to go to the movies. We went way out the way to go to eat. And the movie theater that was closest to us was 5 minutes away from both of us. But she wanted to go to one almost 40 minutes away because she lived too close to the other one. So she didn't want to run into nobody. So I was like, whatever. Then we went out to eat. And then this little, I was about to call it a B word. This little thing, Key knows exactly what I'm talking about, even though she don't know. This little thing ate up everything in the movie theater. Like, bitch, this popcorn $12, man. This drink $5, man.
Movie stuff is expensive.
And you know, this back in the day when it's your first date, y'all can't drink out of one drink. You don't know how they drink. You know what I'm saying? So you had to get 2 drinks. Then we had to get candy. And you can't be a nigga and just bring all your candy in. Like, not yet, right? And so I was like, yo, man. And then we went out to eat one time and I did the trick on her, right? Called up Jamar. Said, yep. Got an idea, buddy. I'm going to let her go in first. I'm going to go to the bathroom and I'm going to see what happened. Yo, she literally, I went in the bathroom. I stood in the bathroom. Just waited. I come out. She's sitting at the table by the bathroom. I was like, oh, did you order? Oh, no, I was waiting on you.
Yeah,
and I was like,
know what's up.
And that was the last time I took her out. I never took her out to eat after that. And then I started knowing, I'm like, yo, man, bitches with money at? So anyway,
I don't know. Maybe I do. I really don't know. I don't know. Maybe I do attract a certain type of guy, but then I also sometimes I don't be giving some of these things no chance. So it might be my own fault.
Hey man, you gotta pull it together. I want to thank everybody for listening to episode 61. This is the end. If you do not know,